closed the door. Walls that held our secrets like they'd been there all along. The curtains in the afternoon would billow with the breeze, and light would scatter softly on the dusty wooden floor. We kept our shoes by the stairwell side by side, but never neat. A little monument to all the places we meant to go. On the counter sat a bowl of keys and folded notes, plans we made between the laundry and the quiet radio. Rolled to your elbows, humming something low while the water ran. Your reflection in the window merged with the sky outside, and for a moment you looked like you belonged to both worlds. There were evenings when we talked in circles, chasing the shape of a life we weren't sure we wanted. Other nights we leaned into the television's glow, letting someone else's story fill the silence we were afraid to touch. When we finally packed those rooms into boxes and bags, the echo of our footsteps felt louder than it should. I ran my hand along the empty shelves, feeling the ghosts of books and photographs still clinging. Now I pass by houses with their curtains drawn, wondering about the lives unfolding behind the glass. I've learned that leaving doesn't mean it wasn't real. It just means the story needed more space than those four walls could hold. Still, some afternoons I can almost feel that breeze lifting the curtains of a room we once called home.
There's a light on the porch at the edge of the yard, flickers low and the wind drifts through. It's the same soft glow I knew as a child when the nights felt long and true. Mama kept the kettle warm on the stove, steam rising like a whispered prayer. I trace old stories in the fading paint, feeling time move slow in the air. And I still walk back in my quiet mind, down the gravel where the fireflies shine. Every small moment I thought was nothing at all. Turns out it was everything, everything in time. Ooh. miles in the soles of my shoes. Let go more than I meant to hold, but the world grows kind in the softest hours when the memories loosen their gold. If the road feels heavy or the night too wide, I picture that porch and I'm warm inside. And I still walk back in my quiet mind, down the gravel where the fireflies shine. Every small moment I thought was nothing at all. Turns out it was everything, everything in time. Took a walk before the snow arrives, watching bare branches trace the sky. The cold held back, waiting its turn, letting autumn breathe one last sigh. Leaves scattered like forgotten notes across the worn-out gravel road. Each step I took stirred gentle echoes of things I once believed would stay. The river moved with steady grace, a quiet ribbon in the fading day. Its surface catching bits of gold from the sun, reluctant to let go. I stopped beside the old stone wall where moss grows soft against the cracks. Places like this don't ask for change, they simply keep whatever comes. And as the air grew still around me, I felt a calm I couldn't name, the kind that settles just before the first soft snow begins to fall.
There's a porch light in the rain that I still see in my mind, glowing through the curtain like I knew my name. You leave it on for me when the days ran longer than they should. A small circle of welcome in the gray. I shake the water from my coat and breathe in the smell of home. Coffee lingering in the air, something simmering on the stove. Your voice would float in from the narrow kitchen, soft and unhurried, asking nothing more than how was your day. The table bore the weight of long conversations and chipped mugs, rings of memory staining the wood in quiet halos. We'd sit there with our elbows touching lightly, sharing bits of life we hadn't meant to say out loud. Some nights we'd laugh until the windows fog. Other nights we let the quiet speak for us. Steady and faithful, like it had nowhere else to fall. Sometimes you'd hum an old tune without thinking, the kind that holds a little ache but never breaks. I learned that comfort isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just a steady presence in
The drift of the lantern light fills the room, softening the edges of the night. I sit alone but not unheld, wrapped in the glow of something familiar. Wind brushes lightly against the east, quiet rhythm, steady and true. It taps the story into the walls, one I've heard 100 times before. Books lie open with pages curled, as if they doze beside the fire. Their stories mingling with my own in ways I'll never fully know. The kettle hums a gentle tune, rising slowly into the air. Small sounds weaving through the dark, stitching together a peaceful hour. And as the lantern flickers low, I feel a comfort deep and real, a tender assurance whispering, I'm right where I need to be.
Snow on the old street fell softer than I remembered, covering the cracks in the pavement with a borrowed kind of grace. The lampposts glowed like they were holding their breath, casting halos on the ground where no one walked yet. I stood at the window with my hand on the glass, feeling the chill seep slowly into my skin. You used to say that first snow was a reset, a quiet way the world forgave itself. We'd throw on boots and mismatched scarves, step outside while the night was still figuring itself out. Our footprints marked a winding path to nowhere special. Just two sets of tracks leading to the corner and back. Inside the radiator would clank and hiss, fighting its small battle against the cold. We'd peel off those heavy layers, cheeks red with laughter, September snow still knows how to find me. I watch it gather on the railings and rooftops. Neat little blankets tucking the city in. Some part of me is still out there with you. Breath visible in the air, fingers numb, heart wide open. When the morning comes and the plows have had their way, only bits of white will linger in the corners. Fragile proof of the night we just had. I'll pull on my coat and step into the day. My footprints leading back to my own front door, carrying the echo of your laughter. Across the street, dressed in white. I still remember the color of late September, how the sky seemed to lean a little closer to the ground. You were standing by the car with your hands in your pockets, kicking at the leaves that gathered along the driveway. The air had just a hint of chill, enough to make us pull our sweaters tighter around the truth. The radio from the open window played some fragile melody, something soft that made the moment feel bigger than it was. We talked about nothing and everything, the shape of tomorrow, the weight of what we couldn't say. Your laugh caught on the wind and drifted down the street, and I swear the trees listen. We drove nowhere in particular, down roads that knew our tires by heart, fields rolled out on either side, all golden rust and fading green. You drummed your fingers on the steering wheel, sinking with a rhythm only you could hear. And I watched the way the light caught your profile, like the day itself. The rest you'll memorize you. We parked by the old park gate and sat with the engine off, not ready to go home. Silence settled between us, not cold, just honest. I traced circles on the fog window, wondering if we'd ever feel this young again, even though we both knew we were already older than we felt. Now when September leans in with that same shade of sky, quiet page in the story of us, touched by the color of late September.
Under the early light, the town wakes slow, shadows lifting off the rooftops. I walk the quiet pavement alone, listening for something I can't name. A bakery door creaks open wide, warmth spilling out into the cold. The scent of bread carries down the street, a small reminder of steady days. Windows brighten one by one, as if the morning calls them kindly. Each glow a silent promise that life continues gently here. I take a turn past the empty park, where swings breathe softly in the breeze. Their chains whisper against the poles, echoing with familiar ease. And as the sun climbs toward its place, feels open, tender, new. Another day unfolding slow under the early light.
Laying a soft pale shimmer across the hardwood floor, I sit with my hands around a cooling cup, listening to the quiet hum of a day that hasn't decided what it wants yet. Somewhere a sparrow lifts its voice, threading the stillness with something small but sure. And it pulls me back to younger rooms, places where sunlight felt like a promise. I think of long ago, kitchen's warm with steam, the clatter of plates, and the muffled sound of someone humming just to fill the space between breaths. Back then, time unfolded like a linen cloth, smooth and forgiving, and I never thought to hold on tighter than I did. The streets outside are almost empty, shadows stretching toward the edge of town. I watch them shift as the sun rises higher, slow and certain, like it knows more than I ever could. There's comfort in that steady climb, in the way morning keeps arriving, even when the heart aches in familiar places. If I close my eyes, I can almost hear the soft echo of footsteps beside me, a voice I knew well enough to trust. Some memories stay warm no matter how far they travel, collecting themselves gently at the edge of waking, reminding me of who I was and who I am still learning to be. And so I breathe into the quiet mile, letting the sunlight gather around my shoulders. It feels like an old friend pressing a hand to my back, steadying me, telling me there's still time to live softly and to love the day as it comes. The way December spoke that year still lingers in my mind. A hush of silver mornings drifting through the window pane. I'd watch the frost bloom delicate and slow, as if the cold itself were choosing where to rest. The kettle warmed the quiet kitchen air, and every breath felt like a small promise to myself, a reminder I was learning how to stay. Beneath my younger than my years, as if the world were offering me another chance to walk a gentler road. I tuck my hands into my pockets, letting the cold bite just enough to wake me, enough to remind me that I was still here, moving forward in my own quiet way. Now when December comes, I light a candle and watch its glow slip across the floor. It settles in the corners, calm and unafraid, and I breathe in the soft truth of it. Some seasons never really leave us. They simply teach us how to begin again. There were lines the rain once drew along the window glass, faint little rivers tracing their own winding stories. I'd sit with my knees pulled close beneath a woven quilt, watching each drop find its place, listening to the steady rhythm of a world learning to let go. The room smelled of cedar and distant storms, and something in that quiet soothed the ache I didn't yet understand. The railroad tide blurred into gentle shapes, as if the morning were taking its time to be born. I held a cup too warm for my hands, letting the steam rise like a soft invitation. Some memories surfaced easily, others came shyly at the edges of thought, but all of them carried a tenderness that made me lean into the stillness. There were days I'd hum without thinking, just a little tune carried from childhood, one I never learned fully but somehow always knew. It floated through the house like a small light, telling me to trust the slow unfolding of things, to let myself breathe without expectation. Later the clouds would part in their own rhythm, revealing a sky washed pale and white. I'd step outside barefoot, feeling the cool earth beneath me, and the air would taste like something new, something I hadn't earned but was offered anyway. I find myself drifting back to that small room. The soft quilt, the steaming cup, the quiet hum of a life in process. Those were the moments that taught me how to listen to my own heart, how to let the sky soften in its own time.
There's a stillness in the wheat tonight, the kind that settles slow behind the hills. I walk the fence line with unhurried steps, letting the dusk lean gently into me. Fields I knew when I was young hold their shape beneath the fading sky. The same long rows, the same soft wind, carrying whispers I almost recognize. A single star appears, quiet and sure, as if to guide me back through time. Each breath I take feels borrowed from a world I once called mine. Farmhouse light glows amber through the trees, a flicker of warmth in the cooling air. I pause remembering voices at the table, their laughter rising like a simple hymn. And though the years have slipped like water, I still return to these open fields, where the world feels steady grounded, and my heart can finally rest. Old roads turning gold beneath my feet remind me of places I haven't seen in years. The curve of the land still knows my stride, even if the world moved on without me. I walk slow past the rusted gate, hear the soft rattle of forgotten days. A cricket song rises through the grass, like a small voice refusing to fade. Clouds drift low with lazy purpose, painting shadows across the fields. I let them pass without a thought, content just to breathe the open air. Somewhere a dog barks in the distance, a familiar sound in unfamiliar time. It tugs at me gently like a thread, leading back to something simple. And as the sun dips behind the barns, the whole world glows with quiet grace. Old roads turning gold again, as if to welcome me home.
There were dishes in the sink and mail on the chair, a sweater slung lazy over the back of a dining room seat. We were never quite tidy with Arlen, letting little signs of ourselves linger in every room. The clock above the doorway ticked a soft uneven, always a little late, always somehow right on time. Morning light slipped in through the crooked blinds, laying thin stripes on the worn out rug. You'd shuffle in with sleep still in your eyes, hands wrapped around a mug too big for your grip. We'd talk about the weather like it mattered more than it did, fill in the spaces between us with gentle, harmless words. The radio on the counter hummed low and crackling, tuned halfway between stations we never bothered to fix. Sometimes you'd sway just a little to whatever you could catch, a half-remembered chorus or a familiar chord. Those were the quiet dances we never labeled, the kind that seeped into the walls when we weren't looking. I think about those small things left behind more than I ever thought I would. The shopping list folded in the junk drawer, the chip blue bowl you always reach for, the way the hallway light flickered when you passed beneath it. They were the notes in a song we didn't know we were writing, the details that held us when the world didn't. Now in another kitchen with another view, I still catch myself reaching for that same friendship blue bowl, still listening for your footsteps in a house you've never seen. It's funny how a life unwinds and rewinds. One moment so ordinary, we almost miss them, like dishes in the sink and mail on the chair. Quiet proof that we were here.
The warmth of ordinary days returns. In the quiet moments I rarely notice. Steam rising from a worn ceramic cup. Sunlight drifting across the table. I sit and listen to the morning breeze. The hum of a house easing away. Small comforts I once overlooked now hold more meaning than I imagined. Outside the sparrows chatter softly, perched on branches thin and bare. Even in the coldest season, their voices carry something hopeful. I brush dust from the old piano, though I barely remember how to play. Still, a single note rings clear enough to stir a memory I tucked away. And in that simple, tender moment, I feel the world unfold with ease. A reminder that a quiet life can hold more warmth than I believe. I return to where the river bends slow, a place untouched by hurried hearts. The water sang its quiet tune, just as it did when I was young. Stones lay scattered by the shore, weathered smooth by patient years. I knelt to touch their lingering warmth and felt the past rise gently. Willow branches dipped into the stream, swaying like worn-out lullabies. Their shadows drifted soft and long across the glassy silver flow. A breeze arrived with calm intention, carrying hints of pine and rain. I closed my eyes and let it carry all the thoughts I meant to release. Still moves with grace, reminding me there are places where time slows enough to breathe.
There was soft light on the stairwell when I woke, spilling down each step like it had something gentle to tell me. I sat there for a moment with the railing in my hand, bare feet warming slowly on the wood, listening to a house that still remembered us kindly. The kettle hadn't started yet, but the quiet felt brewed enough, steaming in its own calm way. Your sweater hung on the hook beside the door, one loose thread drifting like a memory I didn't tug. I thought of the mornings when you'd hum under your breath, searching for a melody you swore you used to know. I'd follow the sound to find you standing by the window, coffee in one hand, sunlight in the other, as if both belong naturally to you. Outside the trees had the kind of stillness that only your eyes before the day finds its rhythm. Clouds move slow as if trying not to disturb anything, and for a moment I believed they were protecting us, holding the world quiet and close. never spoke about the things we felt, yet somehow shared everything we needed to. Not every truth needs to be spoken to be real. Some rest like warm dust on a sunlit shelf, soft, patient and present. Now when the stairwell glows just right, I feel you in the corners of the room. Not a ghost, not a longing, just a warmth that knows exactly where to land. Some mornings don't ask questions, they simply let you breathe and remind you gently of what the day can hold.
When the night turns gentle on my door, I let the stillness wander in. It settles like a tender guest, familiar though I've changed. Streetlights shimmer in the distance, painting silver trails across the road. I watch them sway with quiet calm, like lanterns floating on a breeze. Thoughts drift in from older days, carried softly on the dark. Some with weight, some feather light, all of them part of who I am. A dog barks once, then all is still. Even the wind slows down to listen, and in the hush that follows close, I hear the truth beneath the noise. That peace can come in small portions, arriving when the world grows dim, teaching me again to rest. When the night turns gentle,
slanting light across the floorboards in an easy, quiet line. I remember how the dust moved slowly through that glow, turning in the air like it had nowhere else to be. You were sitting by the window with a book line open, not reading, just breathing in the last of the day. There was music in another room, barely more than a whisper, some soft piano drifting under the hum of the house. I watched your shadow slip along the wall, a gentle outline of a life we thought we understood. We didn't say much, we never really had to. The silence was a language we could both read. Outside, the street lamp flickered on ahead of schedule, casting its small circle on the cracked sidewalk. A car passed by and then the world grew still again, like the evening itself decided to linger with us. In that moment, every worry felt a step away, held back by the simple act of staying put. I remember tracing patterns on the arm of the chair, trying to anchor myself to something that wouldn't fade. The air was warm with the scent of tea and old paper, and my heart was softer than I let on. If I could go back, I think I'd tell you how safe that quiet made me feel. Now when the light hits a certain way, I'm pulled back to that quiet room. It reminds me that some nights don't rush to end, they just breathe with you, asking nothing more than that you notice how gently they're holding you. There were letters on the nightstand in a stack the lamp. Someone touched, someone did, all of them waiting. The shade cast a circle of yellow on the worn wood, and the rest of the room fell into a comfortable blur. I'd sit cross-legged on the edge of the bed, feeling the weight of words I hadn't yet found. You slept like someone who trusted the dark, breathing slow and steady, turned toward the window. Street lights slipped through the curtains in thin lines, tracing your shoulder, your hand, the quiet rise of your chest. I thought of all the things we never quite said aloud, how they lived between us like a gentle unfinished song. Sometimes I'd pick up one of those letters, run my thumb along the creased edges, and imagine ink that could make sense of everything. But But life isn't always meant for neat explanations, and love doesn't always fit inside the lines we draw. Still the pages waited, patient as the moon. In the mornings the nightstand looked different, ordinary in the There were letters on the nightstand in a stack beside the lamp. Some open, some untouched, all of them waiting. The shade cast a circle of yellow worn wood, and the rest of the room fell into a comfortable blur. I'd sit cross-legged on the edge of the bed, feeling the weight of words I hadn't yet found. You slept like someone who trusted the dark, breathing slow and steady, turned toward the window. Street light slips through the curtains in thin lines, tracing your shoulder, your hand, the quiet rise of your chest. I thought of all the things we never quite said aloud, how they live between us like a gentle unfinished song. Sometimes I'd pick up one of those letters, run my thumb along the creased edges, and imagine ink that could make sense of everything. But life isn't always meant for neat explanations, and love doesn't always fit inside the lines we draw. Still the pages waited, patient as the moon. In the mornings the nightstand looked different, ordinary in the bright wash of day. You'd reach for your glasses and smile half awake, ask what time it was like it mattered to the sun. The letters would sit there, quiet and unassuming, just part of the scenery we moved around. Now in the quieter stretches of my days, I think about what we meant to say and never did. I've learned that some truths don't need paper, they live on in the way we touched each other's lives. But if I could write just one more line, I'd leave it on the nightstand by a warm, sleepy lamp. Thank you for being the place my heart came home to when the rest of the world felt loud.